The extraterrestrials have landed, or they will land, by the year 2026. At least that's the claim made by Dr. Stephen Greer, a urologist and filmmaker, who has convinced millions of people around the world that he has discovered a government-wide conspiracy to hide the truth from us about alien life. Greer is the man behind Disclosure, a documentary series and movement aimed at ending government secrecy on this topic and, more broadly, to expose the truth about what is really going on in our world. The idea has taken root among many conspiracy theorists and ufologists who believe that Greer, who has had a number of highly publicized run-ins with law enforcement, has been right all along. We have been visited by aliens. The government has covered up their existence, and we are now ready for the truth. Greer's first foray into this world was in 2007 with a short YouTube video called The Dark Side of the Moon. In it, he makes the case that the moon is not one but 5 giant impact craters, including the Bruce site, a 150-mile-wide crater that he says hides a secret alien base. He also claims that he has been inside the moon and met with aliens. I was there for the first time, and I can tell you that there are definitely extraterrestrials who live on the moon, he says. He has also claimed that NASA has been covering up the existence of these alien bases, and that NASA astronauts have actually been living on Mars. Greer is a man of many talents. He's a doctor, a businessman, and a conspiracy theorist. He is also something else. A snake oil salesman. He's peddling his own brand of exotic remedies and supplements, including Ionic Foot Detox, which purports to remove radiation from your body. This is the guy who would go on to found the self-proclaimed Citizen Hearing on Disclosure CHD, an organization that would advocate for disclosure by bringing prominent government officials and witnesses to testify before a U.S. Congressional Committee in Washington, D.C. in February 2016. Greer claimed to have gotten commitments from 2 former U.S. senators and the current director of the Central Intelligence Agency CIA, along with several other witnesses, to come to Washington for the hearing, but when they failed to show up, he blamed a government cover-up for their non-appearance. In April of that same year, he organized another hearing in London that was attended by several members of Parliament. He says that this meeting was also a success and that several members of Parliament asked him to put together another hearing in the near future. But so far, no hearing has been scheduled, and it remains unclear when or even if Greer will get his chance to testify. If Greer had come up with his conspiracy theory about alien life on his own, it might have faded into obscurity. But his work has received significant media coverage. He's frequently interviewed by mainstream outlets like National Public Radio (NPR) and has appeared in documentaries produced by mainstream outlets like CNN. In 2015, he was the subject of a feature-length documentary called Unacknowledged, directed by Academy Award nominee T.J. Martin and producer Andy Chang, which is still available on Netflix and YouTube. This documentary features an interview with the late Senator Harry Reid, who was known to be a fan of Greer's work and who appears to endorse his claims. Many people find his story to be convincing. After all, how likely is it that a former urologist could get away with running a major conspiracy theory for so long without attracting the attention of law enforcement? And why would so many government officials not only fail to deny the existence of alien life but also endorse Greer's ideas? This doesn't mean that Greer is correct in all his assertions, but it does raise important questions about the extent to which government officials are willing to support some conspiracy theories, despite the fact that they have never been confirmed to be true. And while we don't know whether Greer actually has evidence for his claims about extraterrestrial life on the moon, he's certainly not alone in making such claims. Other conspiracy theorists have pointed to a variety of reasons why they believe that NASA is hiding the truth about extraterrestrials. For example, there are those who argue that alien life has already been discovered on Mars, most recently in 2012 by the Mars Curiosity rover, but that NASA is trying to keep it secret. Others claim that NASA is covering up evidence of alien life in order to prevent panic, or that it has already sent humans to live on Mars. One prominent ufologist claimed that she had been abducted by aliens as a child and then given special knowledge about extraterrestrials, which she would now like to share with the world. Others believe that aliens have already colonized our solar system and even have an outpost on Mars. Perhaps the most outlandish of all these theories involves a supposed plot to harvest human organs as part of a scheme to create superhuman cyborgs. Some conspiracy theorists have claimed that a shadowy cabal of scientists are working with NASA and various government agencies to develop artificial human beings made of biological materials combined with nanotechnology. These biological entities are designed to have enhanced intelligence and physical abilities, but also to lack free will, essentially a slave race controlled by the secret cabal of scientists, which is trying to harvest their organs for transplant into their own bodies. The result of such a plot is that, eventually these artificial human beings would be able to control our minds and bodies through the use of remote control technology implanted in their brains.